All right, final game night for tonight. We're going to make sure that we are live and good to go. And it looks like we are live, ready to start the fourth final game night for tonight. All right. What we are playing tonight is What's That Balloon, Blurt, Battleship, and potentially we'll be playing Outburst as well. The first person to give me the correct answer on any of the games will earn a point on the scoreboard. Many points can be given out on a few of the games. We are going to start with What's That Balloon, and if it's your first time ever getting a point on this show, you will be entered into the Hall of Fame, where you never leave. Welcome, Javier. And one person will be added to the Hall of Champions today. This is the fourth and final game show for the night. We are going to go ahead and start. This show will go on for 2 hours with a 5-minute intermission halfway through. We'll be taking a 5-minute break halfway through. The first person to guess what I am making correctly will get a point on the scoreboard. You guys may start whenever you would like. And if somebody in the Hall of Champions has the most points, somebody else will enter. I enter the person, somebody every single stream enters the Hall of Fame who is not already in the Hall of Fame with the most points on the scoreboard. The first person to guess correctly, no, it is not a bear. The first person, it is not a tiger. The first person to correctly guess what I have made will earn a point on the scoreboard. First person to guess correctly. Sword, correct, Javier. Javier, you have a good advantage at coming early. Welcome to the scoreboard. Maybe Javier will beat the high score. He had it for a little bit. Javier coming in with 1 point. It's a good way to start. Maybe he will beat the high score since he is already on the Hall of Champions. We're going to go ahead and make the next balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I am making will earn a point. Woohoo! First person to correctly guess what I'm making will earn a point on the scoreboard. Once we have a few players, we will move on to Blurt, a fan favorite for everybody so far who has come and watched the stream. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will get a point on the scoreboard. First person to correctly guess what I'm making. Correct. It is a dog. That is correct. It is a dog. Let me go ahead and give you your points. And we will move on to the next one. Congratulations, Javier. First person to correctly guess. Hey, Slipshot, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. First, we're playing a game where the first person to correctly guess what I'm making will enter the scoreboard. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will enter the scoreboard. Whoever gets the most scoreboards or whoever gets the most points on the score in one stream will be entered in the Hall of Fame. I will have you guys know if somebody is already in the Hall of Champions. If somebody is already in the Hall of Champions, And I'll pick whoever has the most points on the scoreboard that is not already in there. Somebody will enter every single stream. Somebody will enter into the Hall of Champions. And Javier is already in the Hall of Champions. Slip shot, you never know. First person to guess what I have made. First person to guess what I have made. I will even give a little bit of a hint on this one. Come on, slip shot, you got it. First person to correctly guess what I have made. Laser gun is correct to Javier. Good job. On your point. I'm going to go ahead and make another one. You were close, slip shot. You're a close second. Once we get a few more players, we're going to switch to Blurt, a fan favorite by everybody so far. A fan favorite. First person to correctly guess what I am making will earn a point on the scoreboard. You'll get it, slip shot. You will get it. You just got to stick around. Some people... I had one person take 3 streams to get on the scoreboard, but they had a laggy internet connection. But they were able to get it eventually. They even ended up doing really good. All right, guys. First person to tell me what I made will get a point on the scoreboard. I'll even turn up the light a little bit. First person to tell me what I have made will get a point on the scoreboard. Heart is correct. Roblox Boy. Heart is correct. Congratulations, Roblox Boy. Let me add your name to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard, Roblox Boy. And Roblox Boy, it looks like this is your first time earning a point on this game night show, which means your name will be added to the Hall of Fame after this, where once you enter the Hall of Fame, you never leave. You never leave. We currently have 67 people in the Hall of Fame. And whoever gets the most points, slip shot, you just got to hang in there. The stream goes 2 hours long where we play various games. Once your name enters the Hall of Fame, you never leave. Whoever gets the most points on the scoreboard who's not already on the Hall of Champions will enter. We got a subscriber. There's a firework for whoever just subscribed, just for you. All right, guys, on to the next one. This is a game night show where I host the games, but you play them. You guys are playing against everyone else who is watching. Hey, Star on Pawns, welcome to the game night. All right, guys, this is a fast one. Oh, slip shot. Let me explain that slip shot. Guys, the first person to guess what this is. Kelsey, you can play. Anybody can play. First person to guess it correctly is a sword. Meg, it looks like you were the first person to get it. Slipshot, I will explain this in 1 second. There's an issue with internet around the world. Meg, welcome to the scoreboard. And Meg, since this is your first time earning a point on this show after the stream, I will be adding your name to the Hall of Fame, where once you enter, you never leave. So, guys, I will have you know there are sometimes issues with internet. And if you guys both sent the message at the exact same time, it'll both show on your screens that you sent it at the same time. So we go off of my screen for who sent it first. I do try to keep this game as fair as possible, and eventually I'll have the chat up here so you guys can see it. Welcome to... There's the firework for the new sub. Whoever sub, that firework is for you. I know it's not always the most fair with internet latency. I'm sorry I did not make the internet. I am sorry I did not make the internet. All right. It is not rigged, Slipshot. I promise it is not rigged. I try my very, very hardest to keep it as fair as possible. I will even soon be displaying the chat once I get the correct gear to come in. I will be displaying the chat on screen so you guys can see. We just go off of mine. Guys, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be for everybody as long as you keep it appropriate and nice in the chat. The first person to tell me what I have made will get a point on the scoreboard. Oops. Who can guess what it is? Who can guess? It is a swan is the correct answer. Who got it first on my screen would be Nolan Stoffel. All right, Nolan, welcome to the scoreboard. Let me make sure I spell your name right. All right, Nolan, you're getting 1 point on the scoreboard. You are tied with Megan Roblox Boy for entering the Hall of Champions. And Nolan, it looks like this is their first time on this game show. So congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Fame, where once you enter, you never leave. All you have to do is earn 1 point on this show to be entered into the Hall of Fame. All you have to do is earn 1 point to be entered into the Hall of Fame. But whoever has the most points on the scoreboard that's not already on the Hall of Champions will be entered on the Hall of Champions. Only one person enters the Hall of Champions per stream. Only one person per stream. All right, let's continue on. Slipshot, I am sorry that the internet is not always fair. I do try my best, guys, to keep it as fair as I can. All right, guys, we are going to I promise it is not a setup slip shot. There is no cash prizes. There is no point in setting it up. I'm trying to make it fun and fair for everyone. I truly am. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. The first person to guess correctly what I am playing. Hey, Charlie, welcome back. Charlie is a former Hall of Champion. Welcome back, Charlie. Welcome back, Charlie. All right, guys, first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point. It is not a mouse. It is not a mouse. All right, Slipshot, I'm sorry. Hopefully you can come back another time and have fun. All right, guys, it is a turtle. Who was the first person on my screen to say turtle? It looks like it was Javier. All right, guys, we're going to play a fan favorite on this game. Nolan, Megan, Roblox Boy, you guys are currently tied for entering the Hall of Champions. We're going to play a fan favorite on this game called Blurt. Blurt is where I'm going to read the definition of 2 words. And the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out during Blurt. 2 points could go to one person, 1 point could go to 2 people, or some of you might not. None of you might get the answers. So I'm going to read them off. All you have to do is be the first person to tell me the definition for either word to get a point. You can earn up to 2. The first definition, the part of the body between the shoulder and the hand. The second definition, a strong metal container in which valuables are kept for protection. Arm is correct. 1 point to Javier, and you guys may answer either definition as you hear it. Javier, congratulations on your 5 points. And the second definition, a strong metal container in which valuables are kept for protection. It is not a chest. Oh, it is a safe. I see Javier did say safe. I almost missed it, but Javier did say safe. 1 more point to Javier. And one person does enter the Hall of Champions every single stream. We're going to do another round of Blurt where I will read the definition for 2 words that are in the Webster's Dictionary. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a utensil shaped like a cone that narrows to a small, open tube and is used to direct a substance, such as a liquid, into a container. The second definition, a number obtained as a result of addition. Funnel is correct. The second one, a number obtained as a result of addition. Sum is correct. 2 points for Javier. And we're going to go ahead and play again. And I'll have you guys know, Javier is a Hall of Champion. He is a champion in the Hall of Champions. He is actually currently competing to try to beat the highest score on the stream, which is 44. It's been broken the last 3 streams in a row. Everybody else who's not on the Hall of Champions is going to be competing for either breaking the high score or entering the Hall of Champions. We are going to go ahead and, yes, Javier is 3rd on the high score. We're going to do another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a sharp, curved nail on the toe of an animal or bird. The second definition, clothing worn when playing a part or dressing up in disguise. Claw is correct. The second definition again, Clothing worn when playing a part or dressing up in disguise. Costume is correct. All right. 2 points for Javier. Oh, I messed that point up. Should have done that one. All right, we're going to do another round of Blurt. I will give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a large painting on a wall or ceiling. The second definition, a young horse, especially a male. Hey, welcome back, Nick Nax, who is the most recent person to enter the Hall of Champions on the last stream. Good to see you again. It is not a portrait. It is a mural, is correct. A young horse, especially a male. It is not a pony. It is not a stallion. A young horse, especially a male. First person to get it correct. Keep going. You guys made as many guesses as you would like. It is not a steed. It is not a calf. A young horse, especially a male. While you guys are figuring that out, I'm going to go back and see who the first person on mine to say mural was. And I'm going to give Javier the point for saying mural. Oops. Going to make sure that is defined well enough. All right. Awesome, Charlie. All right, guys. It is not a calf. It is not a steed. It is not a foal. It is not a Mustang. It is not what Kelsey said. It is Colt. Congratulations, Javier. It is Colt. All right. A few more rounds of Blurt. Hey, Yoshi, welcome back. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that you like the setup. I put a lot of work into it since I started doing this. Who the heck? Roblox boy. All right, we are going to continue on. We're going to play Blurt, where I read the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, to put the arms around and hold tightly. The second definition, the art of creating pleasing combinations of sounds. Hug is correct. The second definition, the art of creating pleasing combinations of sounds. It is not agreement. It is not sing. This firework is for the new sub. Have a good one, Charlie. Thank you so much for joining again. And say it's cool that you came just to see who the winner was. It is not sing, the art of creating pleasing combinations of sound. It is not melody. Have a good one, Charlie. It is not harmony, the art of creating pleasing combinations of sounds. Who will get this point? I'm going to go back and see who said hug first. I will give them the point on my screen. It was Javier. Who got hug first? Who's going to say it? Nobody has gotten it yet. Nobody has gotten it yet. I'm going to read it one more time, then I might start putting a timer on. Noise. It is not yet. Noise. The art of creating pleasing combinations of sounds. It is not voice. Have a good one, Nolan. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Hope you come back another time. I will stream multiple times. It is not compose. The art of creating pleasing combinations of sound. It is music. Congratulations, it is music. Yoshi, you came in a close second. However, Nick was the first person to say music, I believe, on my screen. I'm going to double check to make sure I am as fair as possible. All right, I have to go ahead and add Nick's name. Nick, welcome to the scoreboard. And Nick, I believe this is your first time earning a point on this game show, which means after the show, I'll be adding your name to the Hall of Fame, where once your name enters, you never leave. We're going to continue on with Blurt. Blurt is a game where I give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the definition of the first person to tell me the word of either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a ring of light drawn around the head of a saint or angel in a religious painting. The second definition, a small fish such as a herring that is canned in oil for use as food. Halo is correct. Nick, I'm glad you're liking it. Minnow is not correct. I'm going to go ahead and give the point to Javier for Halo. It is not anchovies. It is sardines. Yoshi, you got the point on my screen for sardines. Yoshi, welcome to the scoreboard. Let me go ahead and add your name. And Yoshi, guys, he is already in the Hall of Fame because he entered the Hall of Fame a few days ago. All right. We're going to play another round of Blurt. This is where I give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the we'll get a point on the scoreboard. All right. The first definition, the hair on a man's upper lip. The second definition, to hit a golf ball gently when it is near the hole. And I will repeat the definitions. The first definition, the hair on a man's upper lip. Mustache is correct. And the second definition, to hit a golf ball gently when it is near the hole. Putt is correct. First person on my screen to say mustache was Javier, with Megan Nick coming in close after that. So mustache will go to Javier, and the first person to say putt was, it was not Yoshi on my screen, it was also Javier. It was also Javier. It's hard to see his name because he's blue and he's a moderator, so it's kind of can be difficult to see his name sometimes. Sorry about that if I misspoke. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Blurt. The first person to tell me the word to either of these definitions will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, the smallest unit of a chemical element consisting of a nucleus surrounded by electrons. The second definition, the meat of a pig used as food. Adam is correct. 1 more point for Javier. Pork is correct. 2 more points for Javier. Guys, so far we have Nick, Nolan, Megan, Roblox Boy in tied for first place for entering the Hall of Champions. Guys, please keep your comments appropriate. This is supposed to be a family-friendly environment for all. We're going to play another round of Blurt, where I'm going to give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to give me a word for... The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a baby's bed that is enclosed on 4 sides. The second definition, a living thing that is not an animal. We're going to switch up the game after here, and the next game, up to 30 points can be earned. But the next game is a fun one. Crib is correct. Plant is correct. 2 more points to Javier. All right, guys, we are going to switch up the game mode, and many, many people can earn points during this. What we're doing is we are going to play Battleship. Do not start guessing yet. Here's how Battleship works. This is also a fan favorite. I have 9 ships hidden on my Battleship board. They are hidden on a 10 by 10 grid where the columns are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rows are lettered A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Here's how Battleship works. You guys have to pair a letter and a number. The letter must be either A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and the number must be between 1 and 10. You are allowed as many guesses as you want. You're only allowed 1 guess per comment, but you're allowed as many guesses as you want. If you're the first person to hit that part of the ship, you get a point on the scoreboard. If you hit a part that's already been hit, you do not get the point. Begin. I will start I will start the timer once I see a few guesses. All right, go ahead and begin. Many people can and will earn points during this round. Well, I should say can. I can't guarantee that you guys will, and I do show the Battleship at the end of the game just so you guys know that I am playing fair. And we do take a 5-minute intermission halfway through. Done. Time is out. I am only accepting the answers that are above when I said done. That was 30 seconds. That was a little bit over 30 seconds. That is okay. All right, guys. I am going to read off your guys' answers, and if you got the hit, you will get a point if you're the first person to get a hit. All right. Let the game begin. Let's see who has this. Gotta get some pegs out. F3 is a miss. B7, miss. A5, We have our first hit. Javier said A5. Oh, I just knocked the ship off. Give me a second. Sorry. A5 is our first hit, and we're going to keep going. Javier with another point. Continuing on. F3, miss. F7, miss. B5, miss. C5, hit. We have a hit on C5. Another point for Javier. F3, miss. D5, miss. E5, miss. F5, miss. F3, miss. F7, miss. G5, miss. F3, miss. C2, miss. H5, miss. D1, hit. We have a hit, and that point goes to Nick. Let me go ahead and give you your point, and we will continue on. F3, miss. I5, miss. F3, miss. J5, hit. One more point. Let me see who got that. Javier got the point. G9, miss. A7, miss. F3, miss. B7, miss. C7, hit. Oh man, another point for Javier. All right, last guess. F3, miss. All right. Few points were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits were done that time. Congratulations to the two of you who got it. Javier is a legend. He's doing great. Oh, he's built a little bit different. All right, we're going to continue on. We're going to do a couple rounds of Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what balloon I have made will get a point on the scoreboard. The first person to correctly guess what I made will get a point on the scoreboard. You guys can start guessing. It is not a goat, it is not a circle. It's not a heart, it is not a wheel. It is not a wheel. Not a bee. It is actually a flower. It is a flower. All right, I'm going to finish the flower so you guys can see what it is, and I'm going to see who the first person to tell me flower is, and they will get the points. All right, guys, it is a flower. On my screen, it looks like Meg was the first person to get it. Congratulations, Meg. Meg and Nick are currently tied for entering the Hall of Champions since Javier is already in there, as you can see why. We've got about 25 more minutes, and we're going to take a 5-minute break, and that will be the halftime. When I do the break, that it means the show is halfway, or the game show is halfway over. Wonder why. I know, he's pretty good at this. All right, we are going to carry on. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will get a point on the scoreboard. It is not a snake. It is not a dog. It is not a bee. Alright, first person to correctly guess what I have made. I will turn up the light for you guys to see. It is not a dragon, it is not a lion, it is not a necklace. It is a horse. A horse is the correct answer. Let me see who the first person on my screen to say horse was. Does look like it was Javier. 1 more point for Javier. Javier is currently at 25 points with Roblox Boy at 1, Meg at 2, Nolan at 1, Nick at 2, Yoshi at 1. All right, we're going to do one more balloon, and then Nick said you're talented with balloons. Thank you. Anybody can learn on YouTube, and it's very fun, and it's very easy. I tried many, many art forms, and this was the only one that I could do. So I do appreciate that. Javier is unstoppable. From that, he's good. He's good. Javier really wants to get that high score. All right, guys. First person to correctly tell me what I have made. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. The first person to correctly tell me what I have made. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. Yes, it is a dog. 1 point for Meg. 1 point for Meg. Meg, you have currently overtaken the lead for first place and are on your way to the Hall of Champions, but that is not final until the end of the game show. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to Blurt, a fan favorite. A lot of the regulars who come back and play this game love Blurt, so we're going to go ahead and play it. Blurt is a game where I give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be handed out this round. The first definition, a piece of cloth or paper used while eating to protect the clothes or to wipe the mouth and fingers. The second definition, the house number, street name, city, zip, and state code where a person lives, works, or receives mail. The first one is napkin, correct? The second one, the house number, street name, city, state, and zip code where a person lives, works, or receives mail. Address is correct. 2 points for Javier. On to the next round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you guys this firework is for the new sub. Blurt is where I give the definition for 2 words, and the first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, the money charged for sending something by mail. The second definition, the part of an airplane where the pilot sits. Up to 2. And you guys can answer you guys can give me either word first, the second or the first, it doesn't matter. The first definition, I'll repeat, the money charged for sending something by mail. The second definition, the part of an airplane where the pilot sits. Cockpit is correct. 1 point for Nick, tied with Meg for entering the Hall of Champions. I will repeat the first one. The money charged for sending something by mail. It is not a note. It is not a money order. The money charged for sending something by mail. First person to get this correct will get a point. It is not a bill. And these are the Webster Dictionary definitions of these words. The first person to tell me the money charged for sending something by mail. We're going to go ahead and put 15 seconds on the clock. And if nobody gets it by then, I'm going to buzz it. And nobody will get it. A few seconds left. The money charged for sending something by mail. All right, nobody got it. It was postage. Hey, Rhino, welcome back. It was postage. I'm just going to go back and double check that nobody said it. It doesn't look like anybody said it. All right, we're going to, yes, it is postage. We're going to move on to the next round of Blurt. Yo, what's up, Sports Bro? Yeah, that's fine, Rhino. Thanks for stopping in. All right, guys, we're moving on to the next round of Blurt, where I give you the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, thanks for stopping in, Rhino. The first definition, a covering for the head made of real or artificial hair. The second definition, a chopping or cutting tool that has a head with a sharp blade fixed on a long handle. Wig is correct. That would be 1 point for Rhino. The second one was a chopping or cutting tool that has a head with a sharp blade fixed on a long handle. Axe would be correct. All right, I'm going to give 1 point to Javier for X, and Rhino, welcome back to the show. I'm going to add you on the scoreboard. I know you're not staying long, but it doesn't matter. You still go on the scoreboard. And welcome to the scoreboard, Rhino, for this show. You are already on the Hall of Fame. Of course, I remember you. You come to many of the streams to say hi, and I like it. It's awesome. We're going to continue on to the next round of Blurt. All right, this is where I read the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players this round. The first definition, a building made of glass in which plants are grown. The second definition, a hinged, flat plate mounted at the rear of a ship or aircraft for steering. Greenhouse is correct. Have a good night, Rhino. And the second definition, a hinged flat plate mounted at the rear of a ship or aircraft for steering. Rhino, it looks like you got greenhouse right before Nick sent his answer in. So I'm going to give you the point. Even though if you're leaving, your points stay on here. It's not a flap. Who will get this point, if anybody? I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock. A hinged flat plate mounted at the rear of a ship or aircraft for steering. The first person. Greenhouse, the internet can be a little tricky. I will be in the next few days Sports Bros, I will be adding a screen so you guys can see my chat. The internet is a little bit tricky. If you guys all said it near the same time, and on your screen, it will say that you sent it first, but then it will send it to me, and the first person who I get is not a tiller. I will get who actually sent it first on mine, and I know it can be a little bit confusing, and it can be challenging with the internet because of latency and with everybody in different distances. However, I will be adding a screen just so you guys, I can verify. I can always grab my phone. It is not a propeller. It is not a tiller. But I promise I'm trying to keep this as fair as possible. And so I will be adding a screen so you guys can see the live chat as it pops up, just to be as fair as I can. I unfortunately do have to go through this explanation every single stream so far. That's why I'm just going to get this chat up. All right, guys, nobody got that answer. I gave 1 minute and 11 seconds, so we are ending that one there. The answer was rudder. The answer was rudder. We're going to do another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a hollow piece of metal that is shaped like a cup and makes a ringing sound. The second definition, a young bear, wolf, or lion. The first definition repeated, a hollow piece of metal that is shaped like a cup and makes a ringing sound. Bell is correct, 1 point to Rhino. The second one, a young bear, wolf, or lion cub is correct. Awarded to Javier. And Rhino. Rhino, you are now tied with Nick and Meg for first place. All right, we are going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I will read the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, the position of a flag when it is halfway up the pole. The second definition, an Asian or African animal that looks like a large dog and has thick, coarse hair and powerful jaws. Yoshi and Ryan, you guys have both been coming for a few days, but you guys have just not caught each other. The first definition, the position of a flag when it is halfway up the pole. The second definition, an Asian or African animal, it is not lion, that looks like a large dog and has thick, coarse hair and powerful jaws. Hyena is correct. Will anybody get the point for the first one? It is not coyote. Hyena is correct. The position of a flag when it is halfway up the pole. Half-mast is correct. 2 points for Javier. I wrote that kind of weird, so I am going to... All right, we're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the definition for 2 words. The first person to play the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, an area of land that is surrounded by water. The second definition, the third month of the year. The first definition repeated, the area of land that is surrounded by water. Island is correct, 1 point to Rhino. The second definition, the third month of the year. March is correct, 1 point to Javier. Javier, 1 point. Rhino, 1 point. Moving on to the next round of Blurt. This is where I give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a wreath of flowers worn around the neck, especially in Hawaii. The second definition, a fine powder that is produced by the anthers of a flower and fertilizes seeds. First definition, a wreath of flowers worn around the neck, especially in Hawaii. The second definition, a fine powder that is produced by the anthers of a flower and fertilizes seed. It is not fertilizer. Pollen is correct. 1 point to Yoshi. The first definition, a wreath of flowers worn around the neck, especially in Hawaii. First person to get this correct will get a point on the scoreboard. A loo or a lay, that is close enough. I do accept typos on here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see, making sure everything's right. Okay, awesome. All right, who got the point for that? It looks like Sports Bro. Sports Bro, you got it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add Sports Bro. Congratulations. Welcome to the scoreboard. Sports Bro. 1110. Let me give you your point. And Sport Bro, I believe this is your first time earning a point on this game night show, which means after the show, your name will be permanently added into the Hall of Fame, where your name never leaves. Congratulations and welcome to the show. All right, we're going to play another round of Blurt. I will give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me a word to either of these definitions will get a point on the scoreboard. Hey, Rhino, it's okay. Thank you so much. No, Sports Bro, you don't understand. Thank you. You earned it. I don't just give them out. You have to earn the point. So, good job. It's not a thank me. It's a thank you for playing, and it's a good job. We're going to go on to the round of Blurt. I'm going to give you guys 2 definitions of... I'm going to give you 1 definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a United States or Canadian coin worth 5 cents. The second definition, the long hair that grows on the neck of certain animals, such as horses and male lions. Yoshi, you got to play enough to get on. You might get on. Nickel was correct. Maine was correct. 1 point for Rhino. 1 point for Javier. Where you go, Javier? Where you go, Rhino? All right. If you guys play enough, especially while the stream is still small, now is the best time to try to enter the Hall of Champions, because once your name enters the Hall of Fame or the Hall of Champions, you never leave. All right, next round of Blurt. I will give you guys the definition for 2. Who is the highest other than Javier? Actually, the high score is now shown on the Hall of Champions. The Wizard has the highest score of 44 points, which Javier is clearly trying to beat the stream. So, I'm going to give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be handed out to the players. The first definition, a large, permanent collection of books, magazines, films, or records. The second definition, a large pink or red bird with a very long neck and legs. Library is correct. Hey, Luke, welcome back. Luke, welcome back. Flamingo is correct. 1 point for Javier. 1 point for Luke. Luke, I'm going to add you to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard, Luke. And of course, Luke, I know you're already on the Hall of Fame. All right. Hello, good to see you. Hey, Rhino, have a great night. All right, guys, we're going to switch it up. We are going to play Guess That Balloon. Man, that snap does not feel good. We're going to play Guess That Balloon. The first person to guess what balloon I am making gets a point on the scoreboard. I do try to learn new balloons almost every single day to keep it fresh. Next weekend, we have a whole new game coming. Whole new setup and game coming just for you guys. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will get a point on the scoreboard. It is not a sword. You may start guessing. You're allowed one guess per message. It is not a flower. It is not a snake. It's not a dog. It is not a lion. Oops. Nothing until I finish. Well, I mean, you guys still got to get it right. Get it right. Not a horse. Not a lizard. Not a dog. Not a sheep. Not a duck. Not a flower. All right. All right, guys. Usually when I draw the face, people get it. What is it? It is a type of fish. Fish is not specific enough. It is a shark. Shark is the correct answer. I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure that we are fair and give it to the first person who said shark on my screen. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to go all the way back to the top of the answers and then start scrolling down just to make sure that we are correct. Luke said, nice setup. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. I put a lot of effort into it. I'm really glad you guys like it. I want to try to make a good, comforting, fun environment for you guys. First person who said shark was Yoshi. Yoshi, congratulations on your point. All right, guys, we're going to do one of my favorite parts about this show, and that is where we spin the wheel to determine the next game. All right, what is it? Oh, right, guys, it says Battleship. We are going to play Battleship next. All right, guys, how Battleship works. Let me show you guys this so I can see it. You're good at Battleship. Perfect. Well, let me pull it out. I'll have you know, this is our second round of Battleship this game. I do change up the board between streams, but throughout the stream, the board stays the same. So before you guys begin, I'm going to explain how it works. You guys are shooting cannons at my ships. I have 9 ships hidden around this Battleship board. It is on a 10 by 10 grid where the columns are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rows are numbered lettered A, B, C, D, E, F, J, H, I, J. You guys must pair a letter and a number. You're allowed as many guesses as you want. The first person to hit that part of the ship gets a hit. Go ahead and begin. Hi, Kira. Go ahead and begin. I'll put 30 seconds on the clock. Many points can be handed out. If you're the first person to hit that part of the ship, you will get a point on the board. If you hit it and somebody else already hit it, I'll announce that somebody else already hit it as well. You guys are allowed as many guesses as you want in the allowed time. We are playing Battleship. Give me a letter between A and J paired with a number between 1 and 10. Up to 30 points can be earned during the battleship. Well, throughout the game. All right, a few more seconds. Get your guesses in, guys. Get your guesses in. I read them until I say done. All right, time is out. All of the guesses that are above my message that says done on my screen will be read out. Nick, I will have you know you are only allowed one guess per message. You are only allowed one guess per message. You did correct yourself. Awesome. Okay, good, good. I will still read your first guess there. But yes, you're only allowed one guess per message. Okay, guys. I'm going to go ahead and read off the answers, and we're going to see who, if anybody, got a hit. Let me set it up. All right, we have A3, miss. A1, miss. A2, miss. A4, miss. A5, hit, but it was already a hit. A9, miss. D1, hit, but it was already a hit. D2, miss. A6, hit. We have our first hit of the second round of Battleship. Who said A6? That would be Yoshi. Oops, I accidentally put the point in the wrong spot. Give me 1 second. Okay. Continuing on, continuing on. B9, miss. D3, miss. D4, miss. C9, miss. A7, miss. D5, miss. Nick, I'm only reading the first message on your long stream just to make sure this played fair. Of when you've sent a bunch, you know for next time it is okay. It's alerting. D2, miss. D6, miss. D9, miss. B1, hit. We have a hit. Who said B1 first? That would be Yoshi. Continuing on. D7, miss. E9, miss. D8, miss. B2, hit. B2 is a hit. That would be another point for Yoshi. D10, hit. D10 is a hit. That is a point for Luke. Luke, that is another point. Oh, I'm going to make that bigger so you guys see it. All right. K1, there is no K in this game. You must go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. F9, miss. B3, hit and sunk. There are no extra points for sinking it, but I do let you guys know when you sunk it. Yoshi with another point. Yoshi with another point. Continuing on. G9, miss. C1, miss. H9, miss. B4, miss. C3, miss. I9, miss. B5, miss. J9, miss. C6, we have another hit. We have another hit. C6 is another hit. Let me see who said C6. That would be Luke. Let me put your point on the board. And continuing on. C1, miss. C9, miss. C8, miss. A5 is a hit, but it was already a hit. G7. G7 is a hit. Who said G7? That would be Javier. I'm going to go ahead and give you your point, Javier. All right. All the other ones are passed when I said done, so we're going to go ahead and stop it right there. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. How much time has it been? Because we do take a break. Actually, we're going to do one more balloon. We're going to do one more balloon, and then we're going to take a 5-minute break, which is the halftime break of the game. All streams I'm hoping to do for 2 hours long with a 5-minute break in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and do one more I'm going to read the points real quick. Javier has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36. Javier has 36 points. Roblox Boy 1, Meg 3, Nolan 1, Nick 3, Yoshi 7, Rhino 1, Sport Bro 1, Luke 3. Yoshi is currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions, which will be determined about 1 hour from now. Javier looks like he's on track to breaking the high score of the stream, but these numbers are not finalized till the end of the stream, so we're going to go ahead and do Guess That Balloon. Don't celebrate yet and get comfortable, Yoshi. You still have to earn it. There are still people who can come in and start dominating. Look how many points were earned by Javier in the first half. So be on your toes. Does Javier not count? So, Luke, Javier is already in the Hall of Champions. And I add somebody to the Hall of Champions every single stream. So since he is already in there, whoever has the most points that is not already in there gets added to the Hall of Champions. Every single stream, somebody walks away. So Javier is competing for the high score among the Hall of Champions. Yes. Javier is competing for the high score among the champions, where everybody else is competing for entering the Hall of Champions. And you can also enter the Hall of Champions and break the high score at the same time, which would be an impressive feat. We're going to do one more Guess That Balloon and then take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to continue. All right, first person to correctly guess what I am making. Well, it popped. That is a bummer. I'm going to go ahead and start again. Remember, the colors do not matter in here. Not a sword, not a bee. Wah, wah, wah. Who does the sound effects? Luke, I do the sound effects as I'm doing this. I made a soundboard just for this. So I do the sound effects, I do the lights, I do the game, I do the score, I do it all. Guys, it is a snake, and I actually do believe that I saw. That's nuts. I know, Luke, it's a lot of work. That's why I did see. Luke, I'm so glad you like it. I put a lot of effort into this, and this is really, really fun. All right. I had to do a lot of practicing before I went live. I went live last night for the first time because I was writing time. I didn't think I was going to start until today. The first person to play Snake, was Yoshi. Yoshi, congratulations on your next point. Luke, I'm really glad you like it, man. I wanted to make this a fun atmosphere for everyone. All right, guys, here's how the break works. We're going to take a 5-minute break. When you hear the sound of the gong, that is when my 5-minute timer starts, and I will do my best to be back here in 5 minutes at the start of the gong, and you will hear a laser when the break is over. And as soon as the break is over, we're going to continue. As long as this break sign is on, we are breaking. This is officially the halftime break of the show. This is officially the halftime break of the show. All right, break starts now. we still have some time left in the break. Decided to start coming back a little bit earlier so I can catch up in the chat and get right back to the game to give a fair shot for the people trying to break the high score. Still a little bit. Yoshi, yes, you are currently in the lead at 8 points for entering the Hall of Fame. Going to go ahead and catch up. Nick, I feel like this channel will skyrocket up in subs if he keeps doing it. Thank you. I appreciate that. 5 minutes is up. We start shortly after the air horn. You have to go. Hey, have a good one, Nick. I hope to see you back. Yes, Nick. Yes, one person does enter the Hall of Champions every time. I want you guys to get your names on there. Yoshi, you're trying your hardest. Well, you're doing great. You're doing great. All right, guys. I always start the break back with what, or guess that balloon, just so that way give people who might be coming back late a chance to not miss out on the bigger games with more points. So we start the stream soft and we start continuing from the break a little soft with the balloons, and then we'll get right back into the other games as well. First person to correctly guess what I am making on the scoreboard, or will get a point on the scoreboard. First person correctly guess what I'm making gets a point on the scoreboard. It is not a hat. First person to correctly guess what I'm making gets a point on the scoreboard. It is not a butterfly. First correct guess gets a point on the scoreboard. It is not a bird. Let me turn this up so you guys can see it. Oh, it is already white. First person to correctly guess. It is not a flamingo. It is a swan. Congratulations, Yoshi. You are getting a point. Couple more balloons, and then we're going to move on. Thank you. Oh, you earned it. You earned it. First person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. All right, guys. First person to correctly guess what I'm making will get a point on the scoreboard. It's not a dog. Its neck is huge. Who will be the first person to get a point? I'm going to draw in the polka dots that go on its neck. Long neck giraffe. That is correct. That is correct. One more point for... there's my marker. 1 point for Javier. Where are you, Javier? Oops, wrong color. I tried to keep it... I realized I ruined my markers when I used too many colors. Just so you guys know the points real quick. Javier, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 37. Roblox Boy, 1. Meg, 3. Nolan, 1. Nick, 3. Yoshi, 9. Rhino, 6. Sport Bro, 1. Luke, 3. Continuing on. All right. We're going to make the next one. First person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. All right, Warrior, that is an inappropriate comment. Not allowed on this stream. Oops, that is the wrong thing. Warrior, that is not an inappropriate comment on this stream. So you are getting banned All right, guys, we're going to get that turd out of here. Continuing back on to, thank you. Continuing back on to the show. Guys, I am lenient with mistakes, but some of them, if they're too inappropriate, automatic ban. If they're too inappropriate, first person to tell me what I made. Here's a hint. First person to tell me what I made. Yes, will get a point. Laser gun is correct. Laser gun is correct. Guess who? Congratulations for your point. Guess who? I'm going to add you to the scoreboard. Guess who? Welcome to the scoreboard. Also, guess who? It looks like this is your first time earning a point in this game show, which means I will be adding, after the stream, I will be adding your name to the Hall of Fame, where once you get 1 point on the stream, you enter and you never leave. We have around 70 people in the Hall of Fame. And we're going to move on to Blurt. Whoever gets the most points in one stream who is not already on the Hall of Champions will enter the Hall of Champions. One person enters every time. Javier has the most points, but he's already on there, so he is competing to try to beat the highest score of 44 points on this stream. We're going to move on to Blurt. Guess who? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the game night where I host the games and you play them. All right, guys, we're going to move on to Blurt. Here's how Blurt works. I'm going to read the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word of either definition gets a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be handed out to the players. You guys may tell me the word for either definition. Up to 2 points will be handed out. The first definition: one of the thin, fine strands that grow from the skin of animals and human beings. The second definition: a vehicle that is used to convey people who are sick or hurt to a hospital. Hair is correct. 1 more point for guess who? 1 more point for guess who? The second definition, I will repeat, a vehicle that is ambulance is correct. 1 more point again for guess who? Uh-oh, Yoshi, be careful. Guess who is already new to the channel but on his way for competing for the Hall of Champions. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next round of Blurt. Yes, we have, Yoshi, you have a good competitor. You're going to have to earn your spot tonight, and this is why the Hall of Champions is not announced till the end of the stream. These are 2-hour-long streams. We're going to go on to the next round of Blurt. I'm going to read the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition gets a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be handed out. Either 2 points to 1 player, 1 point to 2 players, or sometimes you guys don't get the words, and that's fine. The first definition: a number that can be added to any other number without changing the value of the other number. The second definition: a number that expresses 1 or more equal parts of a whole. And every other round of Blurt is challenging. It is not a whole number. Fraction is correct. 1 more point. I'll reread the first one. A number that can be added to any other number without changing the value of the other number. I'm going to put the time on the clock if nobody can get it before the time is up. We are going to move on. 1 more point for guess who? Yoshi, if you're panicking, take a deep breath. Get your head in the game. Don't panic. It is not an integer. And these are Webster Dictionary definitions. All right, time is out. The answer was 0, a number that can be added to any other number without changing the value of the other number. It was 0. Nobody got that. We're going to move on. Blurt is a fan favorite amongst the subscribers on this channel. We keep coming back for more. All right, we're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you guys the definition of 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: a small animal that has smooth skin, webbed feet, and long hind legs used for leaping. The second definition: a number of sheets of paper glued together at one end. Frog is correct. The second definition: a number of sheets of paper glued together at one end. It is not a book. Guess who got the point for Frog? Where are you? Guess who? Oh, it's a wrong marker. It is not a magazine. Come on, a number of sheets of paper glued together at one end. You got this, guys. Notepad is close enough. It was pad. You guys just have to be close enough in this game with some of the answers. One more point for Javier. We're going to do one more round of Blurt, and then we are going to move on to another game. Blurt is where I give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, the lowest singing voice of a man. The second definition, someone whose job is judging books, plays, and other artistic efforts. The first definition, the lowest singing voice of a man. The second definition, someone whose job is judging books, plays, and other artistic efforts. Base is correct. The second definition, someone whose job is judging books, plays, and other artistic efforts. Critic is correct. 1 point for guess who? 1 point for Javier. 1 point for guess who? 1 point for Javier. All right. We are going to play Battleship. Great. Guess who? You're doing great for just joining the stream. Yoshi, you hang in there, Yoshi. If you don't get it today, I know you'll get it. Guess who? You're doing great. Guess who? And Yoshi, guess who? You're giving Yoshi a run for his money. You two are great competitors. All right, go ahead and start. Let me explain the rules real quick. You guys have to guess where I hid my ships on this Battleship board. Go ahead and start getting your guesses in if you know the game. We're playing Battleship. You must pair a letter with a number. The letter must be between A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. The number must be between 1 and 10. Go ahead and start guessing. You guys are allowed as many guesses as you'd like, but only 1 guess per comment. I'm going to go ahead and start the clock. I'll give it a little bit more time since there's only 3 players. My ships are hidden on a 10 by 10 grid. The columns are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rows are lettered A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You guys must guess where my battleships are. Now, some of these ships have been hit from previous rounds of Battleship from this stream. The battleship does set, the board does set in between streams, but it is consistent across the same 2-hour stream. All right. Time is out. I'm accepting all answers that are above when I said done on my screen. We're going to go ahead and read off and see if anybody got points. Traveling Patty, welcome to the stream. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and read off and see if anybody got points. All right, we have D1. Hit, but it was already a hit. D2 is actually a miss. I am very sorry. I hit the button. I'm very sorry. D2 is a miss, and I do always show the board at the end of the stream so you guys can see it. I always show the board. D3 is a miss. D4 is a miss. G5 is a miss. D5 is a miss. D6 is a miss. D7 is a miss. A1 is a miss. A4 is a miss. B4 is a miss. D9 is a miss. C4 is a hit. All right, let me see who got that point. D4, 1 point to Javier. Continuing on. D8 is a miss. E4 is a hit. 1 more point to Javier. Continuing on. C7 is a hit, but it was already a hit. F4 hit. 1 point to Javier. Another point to Javier. And continuing on. E1 hit. 1 point to Yoshi. Continuing on. G4 hit. Another point to Javier, and you did sink that ship. There is no extra points for sinking the ship. I just let you guys know. Continuing on. E2 is a miss. E10 hit 1.2. Guess who? All right. Continuing on. H4 is a miss. E3 is a miss. I4 is a miss. J4 hit. One more point for Javier. Let me go ahead and give Javier his point, and we will continue. E4 is a hit, but it was already a hit. J9 is a miss. A10 is a miss. B10 is a hit. One more point for Javier. C10. Another hit, and another point for Javier. E5 is a miss. D10 is a hit, but it was already a hit. E6 hit. All right, another point for Yoshi. Continuing on. C5 is a hit, but it was already a hit. E10 is a hit, but it was already a hit. E7 hit. One more point for Yoshi. F10 is a hit, and it is a sink. No extra points awarded for sinking. I just let you guys know. Javier, one more point. Javier, one more point. A5 is a hit, but it was already a hit. G10 is a miss. E8 hit and sunk. One more point for, looks like, Yoshi. And those are all of the comments that are above when I said done, and I do say done at the end of the timer. We are going to continue on. Guys, there are only 5 points left on Battleship, and there's only 40 minutes left in the game. We may or may not play Battleship one more time. We may or may not. A lot of the points were taken up. So we will see. We will see. All right, I'm going to read the scoreboard out and see who we currently have in the lead. Javier, congratulations. You have 47 points. You have officially beaten the high score of the game. And since you are already in the Hall of Champions, the person with the next highest score will be eligible to enter the Hall of Champions at the end of the stream, which is currently Yoshi with 13 points, followed by Guess Who with 7. All right, guys. We are going to continue on. Javier, congratulations on beating the high score. All right, guys, we're going to play Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess the balloon that I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. You're allowed as many guesses as you want. You guys are allowed as many guesses as you want. Congratulations again, Javier, for beating the high score of the stream. Yoshi and Guess Who, you guys are pretty close to each other. One person does enter the Hall of Champions every single stream. As you can see, it displayed down there. All right, guys, we already have it done. I'm going to go ahead and draw the face. Not that it helps anyway, but sometimes it does. Yep, those faces are horrible, and this is why I do balloon art. It is the only form of art that I can do. B is correct. And the first person to say B on mine. Hey, Wade, welcome back. The first person to say B on mine would be Yoshi. One more point. All right, we're going to do one more balloon. And then we're going to move on to Blurt, a fan favorite by the subscribers. Always, always, always asked for, which is good because I do love playing Blurt. All right, guys, first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Oh, mess this one up a little bit. Let me just do this one over. Alright, guys, this one's a fast one. It is not a monkey. It is not a monkey. Who's going to be the first one to guess what it is? First player to guess what it is will get a point on the scoreboard. It is a snake. That is correct. The first person to say snake on my screen. Hey, Felix, welcome back. Would be, guess who? Nope, not that marker. Congratulations. All right, guys. We are going to move on to Blurt. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Luke, I see you're back from the break. All right, guys, we're going to play Blurt. This is where I will read the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be earned by the players, either 2 points for 1 player, 1 point for 2 players, or sometimes you guys don't get the word and nobody gets a point, and that's okay. The first definition, one of the 10 wooden clubs at which a ball is rolled in bowling. The second definition, someone whose work is putting in water pipes and repairing them. I'm going to repeat the definitions. Pin is correct. 1 more point for guess who? The second definition, someone whose work is putting in water pipes and repairing them. Plumber is correct. All right, the first person to say pin on my screen was, guess who? The first person to say plumber was Wade. Wade, I got to add you to the scoreboard. Wade, welcome back. This is your first time on the scoreboard today. Welcome, but you're already in the Hall of Fame. All right, we are going to continue on with another one. All right, guys, another round of Blurt. This is where I give you the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a mass of tiny bubbles. The second definition, a small bouquet of flowers worn by a woman, usually at the shoulder. The first definition, again, a mass of tiny bubbles. Foam is correct. The second definition, a small bouquet of flowers worn by a woman, usually at the shoulder. Corsage is correct. The first person to say foam on my screen was Luke. The first person to say corsage on my screen was, again, Luke. Luke, congratulations on both of your points. We're going to play another round of Blurt. That was quick. He's fast. All right, guys, here's how Blurt works. I'm going to give you the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, water that falls from the clouds to the earth in drops. The second definition, to steer or operate a car or other vehicle. Rain is correct. 1 point for Luke. The second definition, to steer or operate a car or other vehicle. Drive is correct. Luke again with 2 points. Luke again with 2 points. All right. Just messing with you. Welcome to the stream. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I will give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players, which is you guys, for anybody new. So, the first definition, a long, thin pole with a flat blade at one end, used in pairs to row boats. The second definition, a small round cake made of sweetened dough, fried in deep fat. Or is correct. 1 point for guess who. And donut is correct. That is 2 points for guess who. Just messing with it. You must be appropriate in this game. This is a family-friendly environment for all ages. Everybody is welcome here as long as you are appropriate and keep it a friendly environment, or you'll be banned immediately. All right. I don't always see Javier. I don't always see what he's saying. So if you tell me to ban him, we'll use your best judgment, and I will just have to trust you because I can't always see what people are saying. So. All right, if I see you have one more message banned, if I see you have one more message deleted by Javier, I will be kicking you from the stream to keep it appropriate for everyone because I cannot always watch the chat when I'm reading, and this is supposed to be a fun environment. So we're going to move on to Blurt. Blurt, the first person to give me the definition for either word will get a point on the scoreboard. If you play nicely, you can play. If you play nicely, you can play. You can stay and you can play. If you play nicely, you can stay and you can play. We're going to continue on to Blurt. We're going to continue on to, all right, 30-minute timeout. Okay. I am okay with that. All right, we're going to move back on to Blurt, guys. Sorry about that. I just try to keep it all fair, and thankfully, Javier is here to help me with the moderation. I really appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm going to give you the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me a word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a long, thin pole with a... I just read that. I'm so sorry. The first definition, the deep sound that a cow makes. The second definition, a small lever that is pulled by the finger to shoot a gun. The correct answer is correct. Trigger is also correct. First person on my screen to say moo was guess who. The first person to say on my screen to say trigger was also guess who. Where are you? Guess who? Oops, wrong color. All right, guys. The 30-minute timeout just means they can't comment for 30 minutes. All right, guys. We have about 27 minutes left in the gameplay. 32 minutes left in the stream. We're going to do one of my favorite things to do. We are going to spin the wheel to determine what game we are going to play next. What is it on? It is on Blurt. Looks like we're going to play Blurt again. Looks like we're going to continue with Blurt. All right, for Blurt, I'm going to give you the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a United States or Canadian coin worth 25 cents. The second definition, a long stick with a sponge or strands of yarn at the end for washing floors. The first definition, a United States or Canadian coin worth 25 cents. Quarter is correct. And on my screen it says guess who had it first, and mop is correct. Guess who? Oh, that is not even kind of the right marker. That's also the wrong side. Guess who? It looks like you just overtook Yoshi for first place. Congratulations. We're going to continue on with another round of Blurt. Who said nickel? It's okay, Yoshi. Don't give up. Keep trying. All right. This firework is for the new subscriber. All right. We're going to play Blurt, where the first person to tell me the definition of either word, or the first person to tell me the word of either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a group of 3. The second definition, a thick soup made with clams or fish and vegetables. Trio is correct. That point goes to guess who. Second one, a thick soup made with clams or fish and vegetables. Chowder is correct. 2 points to guess who. Guess who, please do me a favor since your name is Guess Who. How are you already on the Hall of Champions under another account to keep it fair for Yoshi? Because you are doing very good. Hello, Baronator. We are going to play another round of Blurt. No, I'm not. All right, Guess Who? Well, welcome. You're doing great. I will check on who said chowder first. Give me 1 second. Did Wade not say chowder first? Oh, Wade did say chowder first. Wade did say chowder first. All right. Yes, the point will go to Wade. And I did announce about 2 streams ago to keep this game as fair as possible since we are competing. I am sorry about that. Guess who? I will be taking one of your points away for... Wait, who did I accidentally give it to? I did give it to Chowder. I will be taking one of your points away. I am very sorry about that. At first, I was keeping them. However, I announced 2 streams ago that rule was changing to keep it even more fair, especially since people are competing for the entrance to the Hall of Champions. And I do like to keep it as fair as possible. We're going to play one more. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you guys the definition. This firework is for the sub. Blurt is where I give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition gets a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be handed out to the players. The first definition, someone who likes to pick fights with or tease smaller and weaker people. The second definition, someone whose job is to patrol and guard a forest or park. Bully is correct. 1 point for Wade. And thank you guys. One of my favorite parts about this, about the players, is you guys are keeping it fair. Thank you for pointing out the fact that Wade did earn that point. I really do appreciate that, because this is awesome that we're all helping each other. Nobody had... Oh, it is Ranger. It is Ranger. Who was the first person to say Ranger on my screen? It was also Wade again. Congratulations. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Play one more round of Blurt. It looked like Felix Rain came back. Welcome back, Felix. Welcome back, Felix. Oops. Gotta be careful so you guys don't see those. We're going to play another round of Blurt where I will give you guys the definition for 2 words. And the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. There can be up to 2 points handed out to the players. The first definition, the firm flesh in the mouth that holds the teeth in place. The second definition, a long underground or underwater passage. The first definition again, the firm flesh in the mouth that holds the teeth in place. The second definition, a long underground or underwater passage. Gum is correct. And tunnel is correct. Tunnel is correct. Who the first person on mine to say gum? Wade, it looks like you said hums, which looks like a typo for gums, so I'm going to give you the point because typos are okay in this game. And the first person to say tunnel was Luke. Where are you, Luke, on the scoreboard? You are right there. All right. It was. That is okay. Typos are fine. All right, guys. And remember, guys, if this is your first time on the stream, the first time you get a point in this game show, you are entered into the Hall of Fame where your name never leaves. We have around 70 people there. Back to the show. We're going to play Blurt, where I will give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will earn a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, someone who robs ships at sea. The second definition, an illusion of pools of water or reflections of distant objects. Pirate is close enough. It is pirate. And mirage. Wade. 2 points for Wade. 2 points for Wade. All right, guys. That is perfect. We are going to spin the wheel. We have balloon. We have balloon. All right, guys. The name of the game is What's That Balloon? Oh, High Plains Grifter said he was first. Let me go back and check. High Plains Grifter, on my screen, it said Wade had it above you. There's slight issues with latency and internet, and so if you guys sent it around the same time, it'll on both of your screens, it'll say you sent it first, but I will actually get who sent it first. In the next few days, I will be adding a screen here so you guys can see the chat. We do have to pick whose chat to go off of, so we are going to go off of mine, and I promise in the next few days, you guys will see a screen here for me to be able to display the live chat to dispute all disputes. I am sorry about that. All right, guys, we're going to play Guess That Balloon, where the first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. I do try to make it as fair as possible. I know it can be a little bit unfair with the internet. I am sorry. I did not make the internet, and I do apologize for that. I'm not sure. Snake, you are only allowed 1 guess per comment, but as many comments as you want. Which means if you say multiple guesses in 1 comment, I will only read the first guess of that comment. All right, guys, what is it? They make the ears a little small. It is not a dog. It is actually, believe it or not, it is not a dog. Pretend these ears were a lot bigger. It is not a dog. I do believe I made the ears a little bit small for it to be obvious. Pretend the ears are a lot bigger and maybe the nose is a lot longer. All right, let me see. Who has it? Shark, dino, no, not a dog. Elephant is correct. I see elephant is in there. And it looks like on my screen, the first person to say elephant was Felix. Felix, I gotta add your name to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard, Felix. And I know that you have already played this game before, and so you are already on the Hall of Fame. Because once you enter, you never leave. You never leave. Congratulations on your point. All right, guys. We're going to do another round of Guess That Balloon. It is not a horse, but you are allowed to start guessing immediately. This one's always the fastest one I can make, and it's already done. Who's going to be the first person to guess it? They will get a point on the scoreboard. It is sword, and it looks like Luke got it first on mine. Luke, where are you? Right there. All right, congratulations, Luke. Congratulations, Luke. All right, guys, we are going to spin the wheel for the next game. Typos are okay. It was a close one. And it is a mystery, which means I get to decide what we play next. And we are going to play Battleship. How Battleship works is do not start guessing yet. Do not start guessing yet. Gonna get a seizure from the lights. I'm sorry, I do mean to do a epilepsy warning. All right, guys. This is how Battleship works. You guys have to guess where my ships are in here. When I do the bell, it is time to start. Do not start yet. There's a 10 by 10 grid where I have these ships hidden. The columns are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rows are lettered A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You must pair a letter with a number. For example, you could say A1 or J10. Go ahead and start. That's okay if you have a typo. Luke, are you epileptic prone? I'm going to go ahead and start the clock. You can answer that later, Luke. There's only 5 points left for Battleship. Time is up. I'm only accepting answers that are above when I said done on my screen. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and read off and see if anybody got a hit. We have F1 hit. 1 point awarded to Yoshi. C4 hit, but it was already a hit. A6 hit, but it was already a hit. A3 miss. C5 hit, but it was already a hit. B6 miss. A5 hit, but it was already a hit. H2 miss. C6 hit, but it was already a hit. F2 miss. C6 hit, but it was already a hit. B3 hit, but it was already a hit. C7 hit, but it was already a hit. D5 miss. F3 miss. D6 miss. D8 miss. No, it was just a joke. Sorry, no problem, Luke. H7 is a hit. H7 is a hit. All right, give me a second. I have to award the point. Who said H7? That would be Felix. Let me go ahead and add the point and continue on reading. F4 hit, but it was already a hit. E6 hit, but it was already a hit. G5 miss. F6. Where's F? Miss. F6 again. Miss. F5. F5 is a miss. E4 hit, but it was already a hit. F5 miss. G6. G6 is a miss. B6 miss. B4 miss. F1 hit, but it was already a hit. B, 7, miss. H, 6, miss. A1, miss. C, 5, hit, but it was already a hit. K, 1, there's no K. We just go to J. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. D, 6, miss. I, 6, miss. K, 2, no K. A, 7, miss. J, 6, miss. E, 7, hit, but it was already a hit. C, 4, hit, but it was already a hit. E, 6, hit, but it was already a hit. K, 3, there is no K. B, 7, miss. A, 3, miss. Last one, G, 6, miss. Alright, guys. That is the last time we will be doing Battleship, since there are only 3 left, and I do like to show. I do understand it is kind of hard to see. I will work on that, but somebody requested that I start showing the Battleship the last time I do it. So I'm just going to slowly move it in and out so you guys can see. Just remember, the first person to hit the ship is the person, or that spot in the ship is the only person who will get the point for that answer. Let me see, how much time do we have left in the stream? We do 2 hours every single game night show. We are going to do 2 hours with a 5-minute break halfway through, just to keep it structured and fair and a good competing chance. We have about 12 minutes left of gameplay, which means 17 minutes left of the stream. We're going to do a quick Guess That Balloon. Currently, guess who is in first place for entering the Hall of Champions, followed by Yoshi. Guess who has 16 points? Yoshi has 15. This is a very, very close game. Running down to the end of the clock. Who will get it? Who will get it? What are we going to make? First person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. It is not a dog. We got some fierce competition. We have some fierce competition in the chat tonight. We already have a record broken by Javier Goat God. Or wait, Javier Goat Man. My bad. Did say it wrong. Nope, did that one. Motorcycle is correct. Motorcycle is correct. I'm going to quickly finish the design so you guys can see what it looks like in case you are new and you come back. I'm going to just do it pretty quick so you guys can see. Oh. All right. I did not finish it. The balloon's being weird, but this is roughly what the motorcycle looks like. And we're going to move on to the next game mode. Congratulations. Let me see who the first person to say motorcycle was. Motorcycle or bike would have both been acceptable answers. Motorbike. Looks like it was Javier. All right, continuing on. We're going to play Blurt. All right, guys, for Blurt, the first person to tell me... All right, guys, for Blurt, I'm going to read the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a doctor who treats people's teeth. The second definition, a dry region that is usually covered with sand and has few or no plants. Repeating the first definition, a doctor who treats people's teeth. Dentist is correct. The second definition, a dry region that is usually covered with sand and has few or no plants. Desert is correct. Let me see who said dentist and desert first. It looks like, guess who said dentist first? And Wade said desert first. 1 point for guess who and 1 point for Wade. All right, we're going to continue on. We're going to play another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the definition to 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a thin line or narrow beam of light or other radiation. The second definition, someone who drives a car for pay. The first definition, a thin line or narrow beam of light or other radiation. Ray is correct. The second, it is not taxi. The second definition, someone who drives a car for pay. It is not valet. While you guys think about it, I'm going to give the answer to the first person who said Ray, which would be Luke. Congratulations on that point. One more point can be handed out. Guys, Luke is trying to catch up for the ball. It's not Uber, it's not trucker, it is not valet. I'm going to put some time on the clock. Someone who drives a car for pay. It is not a limo driver, it is a chauffeur. Looks like the first person to say that was Luke. All right, one more point for Luke. Luke is gaining on you guys. All right, we're going to play another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a classroom to which all the pupils in a class report in the morning. The second definition, the poison of certain snakes, spiders, or other creatures. The first definition repeated. Homeroom is correct. A classroom to which all the pupils in a class report in the morning. The second definition. The poison of certain snakes, spiders, or other creatures. Venom is correct. The first person to say homeroom on my screen was guess who? The first person to say venom was Luke. 1 point for guess who? 1 point for Luke. Continuing on with Blurt, we're going to play another round of Blurt, where I will give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a channel along the side of a street for carrying off water. The second definition, a wild pig with a thick coat of dark bristles. It is not a ditch. I will repeat it. It is none of these. Oh, bore is correct for the second one. I will repeat the first definition. A channel along the side of a street for carrying off water. And I will give the point for bore out, which would go to Luke. We'll get the point for bore. All right, Luke. I will repeat the first definition. A channel along the side of a street for carrying off water. Gutter is correct. I'm going to see who the first person to say gutter was, and it looks like it was another point for Javier. Another point for Javier. All right, we're gonna play another round of Blurt, where I read the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a plant having a long orange root that is eaten as a vegetable. The second definition, a case of silky strands made by a caterpillar to protect itself while it turns into a butterfly or moth. Carrot is correct. The second definition repeated is a case of silky strands made by a caterpillar to protect itself while it turns into a butterfly or moth. Cocoon is correct. Cocoon is correct. Carrot and cocoon are correct. The first person on my screen to say carrot was Luke, and the first person to say cocoon was also Luke. All right, Luke, you have... Oh my god, Luke is gaining. Luke is gaining. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a small jumping insect that lives on the bodies of animals and human beings and sucks their blood. The second definition, an ancient Egyptian statue with the body of a lion and the head of a hawk, ram, or man. Flea is correct. It is not a tick. It is not a mummy. It is not a pharaoh. I will repeat the second definition. An ancient Egyptian statue with the body of a lion and the head of a hawk, ram, or man. I will be putting... It is not an Anubis. I'll be putting some time on the clock for this one. It is a Sphinx. Congratulations, Baronator. The first person to say flea on my screen would be Baronator. And the first person to say Sphinx was also Baronator. Baronator. Wow. Baronator, I'll be adding you to the scoreboard. Baronator with 2 points. Welcome to the scoreboard. Baronator coming in with 2 points. Also, Baronator, I see this is your first time earning a point on the scoreboard in this show, which means your name will be added to the Hall of Fame after the stream, or once you enter, you never leave. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yoshi, if you have to ask, it is probably a no. We are going to continue. All right, guys, we're going to continue with Blurt, where I give you the definition for 2 words. And if you tell me the correct word for either definition, you will get a point on the scoreboard. The first person to get it right gets the point. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a baseball player who stands behind home plate to catch the ball thrown by the pitcher. The second definition, a short oar with a flat blade used to move and steer a canoe or other boat through water. Catcher is correct. The second definition, a short oar with a flat blade used to move and steer a canoe or other boat through water. Paddle is correct. All right, the first person on my screen to say catcher was, guess who? The first person to say paddle was Luke. 1 point for both of you. Luke, 1 point. Guess who? 1 point. All right, guys, we're going to do a quick balloon. The first person to tell me what I made will get a point on the scoreboard. This is Guess That Balloon. First person to get it correctly will get a point on the scoreboard. Oh, wow, it was already guessed. It was going to be a flower. You guys rattle off. This is why I have to learn new ones every single day. I'm not even going to finish making the flower so we can keep playing, because this game is getting down to the last minute. Good job, Yoshi. Good job. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Blurt. Let me see how much time we have. All right, guys, this is going to be the last round of Blurt. This is going to be the last round of Blurt. All right, guys, last round of Blurt, where I will give you the next definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be given out. The first definition, a large, powerful tractor with a heavy metal blade in front. The second definition, a mineral that is a crystal form of carbon and is the hardest of all known substances. Dozer is correct. Well, bulldozer is correct, but dozer is close enough. The second one, and diamond, is correct. Those points are awarded to Luke. Oh my God, Luke, you came in so close there at the end. All right, guys. We just got to the end of the show. I'm going to announce all of the winners. Javier, you have broken the high score of the stream. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 49 points is the new high score on this game night show. Roblox 1, Meg 3, Baronator 2, Nolan 1, Nick 3, Yoshi 16, Rhino 6, Sportbro 1, Luke 13, Wade 8, Felix, Rain 2, and we will be announcing the new winner of the game night show, who will be entering the Hall Champions. Everybody give it up for guess who coming in first place on tonight's stream. Congratulations, guess who, for entering the Hall of Champions. Guess who is now the new champion? Guys, I've never seen a stream that close at the end. That went right down to the last minute. Congratulations. Congratulations. Guys, that was the closest down to the last minute I have seen. Yes, I will do it again tomorrow. I'll probably do I'll probably do a few streams tomorrow. Guess who? I hope you're subscribed and you come back and battle the other champions in the Hall of Champion for the high score because you're clearly doing great. So I hope to see you again, Guess Who, because this is your first entrance and you're already in the Hall of Champions. Yoshi, you were so close, but a good competitor came in. Luke, you came back even later than them and you were almost had it as well. Yoshi, Luke, Guess Who, you guys gave such a great competition right there at the end, right down to the wire, guys. That was very impressive. Wade said, hey, still had fun. We'll join in one day when we're not working late. Oops, we had a pop. You do think you missed out on 3 or 4? I would be sorry about that. Please, Wade, let me know. Let me know if I miss a point. You can always let me know, and I will add it. Is there a reason I don't get... Luke, I think you might have to hit the bell icon. I'm not 100% sure about the notifications. But, guys, this was an incredible stream, guys. I don't think I've ever seen a stream. Actually, we had one really close the other day between Javier and Richard. That was... crazy battle, but 3 of you guys are just going for first place. Congratulations, everybody who is entering the Hall of Fame, and congratulations again to Guess Who will be entering the Hall of Champions tonight. Baronator, you'll be back tomorrow. Awesome. We'll be doing at least 2 streams tomorrow. Congratulations, guys. And at the end of the stream, what I do now is I pop all of the balloons because I have to pop them anyway. So I just do it on stream. Some people enjoy it. Give you guys time to say your goodbyes, comments, questions, concerns, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, suggestions, or just talk to each other, or just leave. Doesn't matter to me. Thank you guys for playing. This is extremely fun to me, and I hope you guys have fun too, and I hope to see you guys back. I hope to see you guys back, and I love playing this game. So we're going to end it with a little... All right, I will see you tomorrow. We're going to end it with a little bit of a music. And we're going to end it with a little bit of a show while I pop the balloons. All right, guys, that was the game night. Thank you, everybody, for playing. This was... Is tapestry like a rug for the wall? Kind of, but it's not nearly as thick as a rug. Let me go ahead and catch up with the chat. Luke, how did I get the background like this? This is a tapestry. I bought it on the internet, and I hung it up on my wall. So I bought this just to hang up for the stream. I'm glad you like it. It looks awesome. It's like a thin blanket then. It is, honestly, it's very similar to this tablecloth. I would not use it as a blanket. It's just for covering things, like a backdrop, or use... No, I permanently keep it up because it would be... I streamed 4 times today, and so it would be a lot to take it up and down, so it just permanently stays here. This setup is actually permanent. I Actually, where my camera is right now is normally where my office chairs go. And so once I start streaming, I have to take out my office chair, put up my camera. But when I'm not on stream, I'm actually working on a desk that is like surrounded by you guys. This is a very efficient but kind of almost crammed room. Yeah, this is like a tablecloth though. This is the same material. This is polyester. It's like a tablecloth or tapestry. It's a little bit of the same. All right, guys, this was a great stream. This was really, really good to see the competition come in. Many people are added to the Hall of Fame. Guess who was added to the Hall of Champions? Followed by a close competition from Luke and Yoshi, and even Wade was coming in good. Guys, you're going to have to keep coming back. One person does get added to the Hall of Champions every single stream. Every single stream, somebody will be added. Luke, you'll get the Hall of Champions soon. Yeah, Luke, if you were here earlier, it would have been possible that you would have got in today. Same with Yoshi was also close, though. All right, guys, thank you. This was a great stream. That wraps up our 4th game night stream for today. Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you guys so much for competing, and thank you guys for keeping it fair, honest, and fun. We're going to go ahead and end it there. Oh, a couple more blues. Thank you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.